Looks so tired. That's okay. I've got this guy at Goodwill. Some of the things in it not too like thrilled about, but a lot of it's great. Anyway, I sometimes pick random pages and they seem to like always be like, oh, just what I'm looking for. So it's hoping like not helping. I gotta pick something though, because I just pick something like, oh, what's 5:55. It's 5:55 a.m. I would like to let's attract a passage in here that reflects like something about the walks that we've been taking that some like weird stuff is happening in. September 13th. And the Lord will create upon every dwelling place of Mount Zion and upon her assemblies a cloud and smoke by day, and the shining of a flaming fire by night, for upon all the glory shall be a defense. I don't know what that means. Somebody like comment below, tell me what that means, because I don't know what that means. When Moses and the Israelites constructed the tabernacles or tent of gathering as their first temple, the divine Shekinah, the holy cloud, frequently rested above the tabernacle as an indication that Jehovah was in his holy house. The prophecy in Isaiah 4:5, chapter 4, verse 5, indicates that in the last days, when Zion has spread throughout the world, when the stakes of Zion have been established in all lands, and when temples of the Most High have begun to dot the earth, our Savior will once again dwell in the wondrous ways and in a remarkable manner among the people of the covenant. His Spirit will be poured out miraculously. His glory will be manifest, and his people will have grown in spiritual grace to the point where they are prepared to welcome him into their own individual dwelling places. I feel like, well, holy crap. Interesting. September 12th. Just like that was the 13th here. September 12th. Therefore thou, Jehovah, hast forsaken thy people, the house of Jacob, because that they be replenished from the east, and they place themselves in the children of strangers. Again, somebody like comment below, like, what do you think this means? I'm gonna have to think about this. Surely there can be no more significant principle associated with the atonement than the need set forth by Holy Writ to rely upon the Lord rather than upon ourselves or upon the arms of flesh. One of the tragedies of the Old Testament, and a theme revisited far too often, was that Israel simply did not trust in the mighty army of Jehovah to provide protection and comfort. Almost always they looked to their own strength or sought to build confederations with understanding nations rather than leaning upon the ample arm of the Lord of hosts. Israel never seemed to learn the lesson that without God they could not succeed, and that with his support and strength they could not fail. I think that's true. Like, just thinking about my channel, like in doing restarting my channel with God, my videos get like, I like go to upload my videos and they're like immediately posted. Like they're like, it's loaded like immediately. And when I was doing it before, it was taking me 2-3 hours to upload just like one video, and it got to the point where God was like, no, and it would tell me 4 days of like the load time for a video would tell me like 4 days, and I literally just could not do anything. Like I had no support from God. It was such a struggle. That makes me want to go get my my Buddhism book, and we'll see what comes out of that too, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't seem to matter what book I pick up. There's something in it for me, and it's like magic, like my magic fingertips. Like I'm attracting that which is matching my reality right now, and it's such a great feeling. I'm gonna butcher these words, like it's so bad. I got this at Goodwill. I got like a whole bunch of like books about God and religion and stuff at Goodwill when I was during the time that I was like really freaking out and trying to figure out what was going on and what was happening to me. And the cashier was like, "Oh, are you trying to find God?" And I was like, "No," because God found me. I was like, sure, buddy. Sure, buddy. I don't know, he might remember me, he might not. Let's go like, no, that's where my bookmark is. There we go. Let's go. But actually the flower of joy is blooming there. So we must conclude that while its blooms are in the bosom of delusion, its roots are elsewhere. Namely, its roots are in the bosom of Buddha. So everything that like is happening to me right now, yeah, it's like delusional. It seems delusional because my reality isn't matching our shared reality, but it's in the bosom of God. That's so funny. There's no seeds of faith in the mud of the worldly passion, but because the Buddha's compassion, the seeds of faith may be sown there, and they will purify the mind until it has faith to believe in Buddha. Interesting. And then this guy, like when this all first started happening and I was being sent to that church to go get an exorcism because I was never possessed by demons, but the thing is, like with that whole demon business and the possession, is that fear had that tight of a grip on me that like God had to show me that. Like it was a really tough lesson for me, but like it makes more sense now why I had to believe that in order to get the ball rolling and for me to understand what was happening, and for me to like, we could talk more about that another time, but something about whichever book this is, like by Don Miguel Ruiz, that was like the poison arrow, is talking about how when we don't heal a wound after we first get it, it slowly poisons us. And that's kind of like talking about like the anger and resentment we carry around after something that happens to us, you know, like that's unfortunate. But another thing that like I was guided toward his series because I had to face a lot of fear, and I have to face a lot of fear on this journey. And so if anybody's like in a position in their life where where they feel like they're having to face fears that they don't feel strong enough to, this Don Miguel Ruiz, like some of these books are just really great for that. There was one that was like specifically about conquering fear, and I can't remember what the name of it was, but it's probably pretty easy to find. And there's like a dozen or so books of this series that they have different like titles that it's pretty obvious which ones they are, which one is which. But I just want to pick something out here too. Fear is a paralyzer. See how perfect that is? You can't make that up. Sometimes it's not the obvious fears that hinder your joy, but the ones that are below the surface, just out of view. If you find yourself sabotaging your happiness, procrastinating on your dreams, or dismissing your achievements, it's likely that hidden fear is at play. When you take the flashlight of your awareness and shine it on the shadowy places where fear resides, you can see that the fears are so often like puffs of smoke. They appear solid at first, but when they are brought into the light, they dissipate into nothingness. Be courageous and stop to face your fears. Stop feeding your doubt and insecurity, and instead dedicate yourself to nourishing your inspiration and passion. I really love that. Like, I just love that. It's like, at a certain point, I was like, what if I would go to the library looking for a book, I would go here, go there, looking for the right books, but it took me a while of after one book after another that was like the perfect book, that every time I would sit down to read it and pick it up, the pages were reflecting my life back to me. It took me like 15 books. That's how hard-headed I am. It took me 15 books in a month and a half, or like 2 months or something, for me to figure out that it didn't matter. Like, there was no wrong book. Like, whatever book I picked up was going to be the right book for me. Like, my reality was matching me. It was coming to me. I was attracting the right things to me. So there wasn't really a wrong choice, except for me chasing the fear, like me following that fear that I could pick up a wrong book. Okay, let's look at the practice here. When you find yourself feeling anything less than joyful, ask yourself, what am I afraid of that is keeping me from experiencing the perfection of this moment? Once the fear is identified, you will find it is about some future event, as all fear is. With awareness, remember that you are perfect exactly as you are. You have nothing to be afraid of, because the real you cannot be harmed. And when it's saying like the real you cannot be harmed, like, it immediately is making me like, it's taking me to the like we're cosmic, like we're part of a cosmic family, we're part of a spiritual family, and our souls are eternal. Like, this is something that I think I may have deleted this video, but like, even if you look at Earth as like this Earth school thing, which makes sense, but at the same time, there's a lot of danger in looking at that without being really careful to be responsible with that kind of information and that kind of viewpoint, because it's too easy for us to kind of dismiss the hard stuff that we're going through if we think about this as like a spiritual school where we're just learning lessons and stuff. My team showed me, it was kind of harsh. Like, I was kind of angry when they showed me this, but it took me a minute to like let this information settle in me, that like the awful stuff that like we're doing to each other, like all these wars and stuff, on Earth, like in this lifetime, it might be temporary stuff, but we're eternal beings that have to live with those choices. We have to carry these memories for eternity. Like, we have to, like, the decisions that we make to not, like, to look at what's happening and say Gaza and do nothing. We have to carry the memory of us choosing to do nothing for eternity. So some of the things that we might think of as temporary here, they have permanent impact on us in the spiritual world. It isn't just a lifetime that's ruined. Like, it's not a lifetime that's impacted by war and by famine and by genocide. It's not just our lifetime, it's not just our generation, it's the experience, like time frame wise. Sure, you can label it that way, but our souls remember, and we have to carry that with us. And on the other side, we're connected, so everything we do to each other, we carry that around too. We're on both sides of that. We have to carry around the fact that we did that to each other, and we have to carry around the fact that somebody did that to us. That's why Jesus kept saying things like, what you do to them is what you do to me. It's really disheartening to me thinking about it, like all the mistakes that I made. But that is exactly why it is so important that we do what we can, especially in our lifetime, like in our earthly lifetime, to forgive each other, because it's that much less suffering, it's that much less pain that we're going to have to carry around there. I mean, we already, like, the damage that we do and the sadness that we cause, we already have to carry around the fact that that's our history. So beating ourselves up over it, not forgiving ourselves for our mistakes, not forgiving each other for others' mistakes, it just adds to it. It adds to the pain that we all are connected to on the other side, and we're connected to it here even if we don't realize it. That's why, like you'll see it in like your company. Sometimes, like, you'll go through like a year or two where like the morale is really low, and it's because we're connected. So like that energy, it like infects everyone. It's not just one person.